Hey guys, I'm Kimberly from It's So Emma, and we've developed some brand new foundation paper that you're gonna love. We are making square and a square units that will make your blocks perfect. We have 3 sizes, 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch. It's very easy, and I'm gonna show you how to make square and a square units. It's one of those units that I've always struggled with, and I can never get it perfect, and with this paper, you can get it perfect, so I'm gonna show you how. To make your square and a square units, it would be great to have a rotary cutter, a glue stick, and add a quarter ruler, and the seam roller will also help, or you can use an iron. When you open your pad, there are 42 pages, and in the very front, there is a sheet that's going to give you some different square and a square block ideas, which is great. And when you flip it over, on each side, it is going to tell you exactly what size squares to cut for placements 1 through 5. So let's get started. The first thing to do is take one of your papers out of your pad, and we have developed this paper to be super thin and easy to pull apart. Today we're going to make a 3-inch square and a square unit. What I like to do is first take my add a quarter ruler and put a crease between all of these lines, and if you do it before you add your fabric, it will make it a little bit easier on the next step. So I just do all of the creases first. And today we're going to make ours with a white on the inside and yellow on the outside. So again, I have taken my instructions here. For placement 1, I have cut a 3-inch square according to my pattern, which is going to go here. For the corners, I've cut 2 squares, 3 1/4, and I'm going to just cut these on the diagonal. And now we are ready to assemble our square and a square. This is what we have. So the first thing you want to do is turn your paper over, and you're going to place this fabric right side up. And I'm going to place a little dot of glue. So just place your fabric down, and then we're going to turn that over, and we're going to do 2 and 3 at the same time. So what I'm going to do is place a number 2 here, and you can just put a little dab of glue or a pin. Place that down. Turn it around and do the same thing. I'm using a sew line pin, and it is the glue is safe for fabric, so that's going to stay in place. We're going to go to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew all the way outside this line, all the way across and all the way past, and we're going to do the same thing over here, all the way across. We're going to use a size 90 top stitch needle, and we're going to use a really short stitch length. So whatever stitch length you usually use, go down a little bit. I'm going to use a 1.5. So I'm using an open toe foot so I can see my stitches, and I'm just going to stitch all the way across. So when I stitched all the way from out here all the way across. You really only technically need to stitch a 1/4 inch before the seam and a 1/4 inch after. I just do a little bit longer for stability. That's totally optional. Now what I will do is pull this paper back, and I'm going to trim the 1/4 inch off just to reduce the bulk, and you should have just a little bit of waste, not too much. And then I'm going to, here, since I've stitched out here, you have to pull your paper a little bit. So just pull your stitches a little bit to the crease that you've already done. And put your creases in, and see you've already done your crease, makes it easy. And from here you can go ahead and trim your 1/4 inch. And if you don't have a 1/4 inch if you don't have an add a quarter, you can just use a 1/4 inch ruler, but the add a quarter ruler has a bump, which makes it easier. And now I'm going to press these. So now I'm going to just use the quick press seam roller so that I don't have to iron. And if you do iron, you just do not want to use steam. And then you go to the other 2 sides, and you can either pin or just use a little bit of glue. You really don't need that much, but sometimes I do a little bit more than you need. And I just put these right sides down. Try to center it, and we're going to stitch on these 2 lines. And again, you want to start a little bit before and a little bit after so that when you trim your block down and pull your paper off, your stitches do not come undone. So now I have this last triangle done. I'm just going to use my seam roller, press that down nice and flat. Again, you can use an iron, just don't use steam. And when you flip this over, you just need to trim on the outside line. So there's 2 different ways you can do that. You can either take a ruler and trim each side one at a time, like that. Or you can use a 3.5 inch square Creative Grids ruler, line up the edges of the ruler with the lines on the paper, and then you can just cut 2 sides at a time and rotate your mat and cut the other 2. And you can see you've got a perfect square and a square. And the best thing about this paper is now all of your 1/4 inch seams are going to match when you put this into a block. To remove the paper, you simply just pull the paper off. It's best to do the paper on the outside first, then your inside will just pop right out, and then you get your little corners off. Then you can do an all over press, and you will have a perfect block that looks just like this. Now, of course, you can do the reverse and do the darker fabric on the inside. And now I'm going to show you some different configurations. Again, you can use the inside of your pad for ideas, and I'm going to show you how fun your blocks can look. So that's one configuration. That's another configuration, and if you just wanted to have a star point on the inside, you could do just these 2 points and leave these off, and that is going to give you just a star in the center. And this one, when you sew it together, you're going to have a beautiful white star popping out. Here's another option. We hope you love the Square in a Square foundation paper just as much as we do. If you're looking for more sizes, just comment below and let us know what size you would like, and purchase these today at Fat Quarter Shop.